one of the great companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Saad bin Abi Waqqas radiyallahu anhu, a senior companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed him with only one daughter, and her name was Aisha. She said, when my father was in Mecca visiting during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, perhaps it was the time of Hajj, so he became very sick in Mecca, and he felt that he was going to pass away during that sickness. So the Prophet ﷺ went to visit him during that illness, and he told the Prophet ﷺ, "O Prophet of Allah, I have a lot of wealth that Allah has blessed me with, but I only have one daughter. So I want to give away 2/3 of my wealth in donation in the path of Allah and leave 1/3 for my daughter. Is that okay?" The Prophet ﷺ said, "No." He said, "What if I leave half for my daughter? I only have one daughter, and give away half of my wealth in the path of Allah. Is that okay?" The Prophet ﷺ said, "No." Then he said, "Okay, what if I leave 2/3 for my daughter and give 1/3 in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?" The Prophet ﷺ said, 1/3 is acceptable, وَالثُّلُثُ كَثِيرٌ, but even 1/3 is too much to give away in donation, because those who are the most worthy of your wealth after you are your family members." The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّكَ أَن تَدَعَ وَرَثَتَكَ أَغْنِيَاءَ خَيْرٌ مِنْ أَن تَدَعَكَ فُقَرَاءَ. It is better that you leave your relatives, your heirs, in a well-off condition than to leave them in poverty. So the Prophet ﷺ said, yes, 1/3 is okay, is acceptable, permissible, but even 1/3 is a lot. But then he allowed it to proceed. And then the Prophet ﷺ, he put his hand on the forehead of Saad RA, and he made dua for him. Allahumma shfi Sa'da, Allahumma shfi Sa'da, Allahumma shfi Sa'da. O Allah, heal Sa'd. O Allah, give cure to Sa'd. O Allah, give shifa to Sa'd. And then he placed his hand on the chest of Saad RA. Saad RA used to say that I continue to feel the cool of the hand of Rasulullah ﷺ in my chest, in my liver, in my heart, until the day I died. And he lived many years after that. He was afraid that he was going to die, and his biggest fear was that Allah will allow his migration to be reversed, because he migrated from Mecca to Medina, and now he came back to Mecca. So he was afraid that if he died in Mecca, all of that migration is gone, is reversed. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm afraid that Allah will take away my reward of migration if I die here from where I left for the sake of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ consoled him. He said, don't worry, Allah will not take away your reward. But he made dua for him, and Allah healed him, and he went back to Medina. He lived many years after that, and he died again there in Medina as well. Right now, we're living in a time, perhaps it is a time that is going to change the history forever, inshallah, in a good way. If we look back to the time of Musa alayhi salam, if Fir'aun had not killed those 4,000 children, perhaps he would not have earned his destruction and his annihilation and wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way he did. We're living in a time when one country, one army has literally slaughtered over 30,000 people, and they intend to do more. They have become fearless. They have forgotten about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was a time when Fir'aun said to his minister Haman, build a temple for me, build a high-rise building for me. I will climb on that building and I will fight with the God of Musa. So he went up there and he had his army shoot arrows towards the sky. And to make them even more delusional, the arrows that were coming back to them, they were soaked with blood. And he started telling his people, look, we killed the God of Musa. His foolishness became even more and increased. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed him to do that. So the fools of Israeli army are thinking that we have all the power. We have done everything. When in reality, everything is going against them. We could have never imagined the kind of things that we are seeing today. Look at the revolution that is being brought by the students who are not Muslim. Inshallah, they will all become Muslims. The hearts of young people are more tender and more readily available to accept the light and accept the truth. And they are already seeing the light. And we're hoping, inshallah, very soon, all these young people, they will come into Islam. But they are speaking for Palestine. They are fighting for Palestine. They are taking courageous actions, not fearing the militarized police in these metropolises all around the country. These heavily armed police officers are going into the campuses and treating them as if they are the enemy. But inshallah, the light is around the corner. Inshallah, the dawn of justice, the dawn of fairness is coming. And we will continue to make dua for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. And we must do everything to support these youth as well, all around the country, who are rising bravely, inshallah. And they will continue to do that. Nothing will stop them. Once young people, they aim for something, they go all the way. And nothing will stop them. And inshallah, Allah will guide them, and Allah will use them for Islam as well. May Allah use all of us for Islam. Jazakallah.